JT and Phillip break it down from kickoff to the final slide. Every snap, every route, every block from the black and gold pride. Who rose up in the trenches? Who vanished when it counted most? They call out the heroes and the gaps, set the record, raise a toast. They map Sundays, filmed in next week's foe. Matchups, schematic stride. Which players inspired hope? Which ones need work to turn the tide? What the team needs, sharper hands, cleaner pass, protection, grit. What the team lacks, depth on key downs, time and lost where yards were split. Coaching choices under the microscope, personnel plans apply. JT and Phillip give the homework, tell Yins is how we'll ride. Get out your terrible towel and wave it with pride on game day wide. Listen to Steelers Rewind, Sunday prep for the faithful by your side. Yinzers, tomb towels held high. JT and Phillip lead the guide. Sports 5-0, Steelers Rewind. Study the tape, then ride. JT and Phillip break it down from kickoff to the final slide. Every snap, every route, every block from the black and gold pride. Who rose up in the trenches? Who finished when it counted most? They call out the heroes and the gaps, set the record, raise a toast.
All right. Good evening, Steeler Monday, Steeler Rewind Monday. Steelers, man, you can't put a caption on this team, man. When you think they're down, they're not down. When you think they're up, they're not up. But I'm gonna bring my co-host in now because he actually is also our responsor tonight. That's Phillip Clark. Phillip, how you doing, man?
Doing great. How are you doing, JT?
Doing really good, man. Real good.
Good.
How about that game? I mean, geez, oh man. I mean, let's start off first with just the fact that can you put a finger on this team, man? Like, how do you consider this team?
No. And not only can I put my finger on this team, I don't think any of us can put our fingers on the NFL.
You're right. You're right, man. The AFC right now, basically, the Colts look good at the beginning. They might have Phillip Rivers starting for them in a couple of weeks, which is
they very well could.
Unbelievable.
He turned 44 today.
Crazy. He hasn't played since 2020. That'd be a hell of a comeback. The Chiefs look like they ain't going to make the playoffs. So the AFC, could this be the 1 year where the Steelers just might be lucky, man?
It very well could, but, I saw your article that you wrote and published before we came on tonight, and I agree with you. I'm not 100% sold. I don't think anyone is.
Yeah, it's hard to, man. I mean, it seems like any time, and I hate to say this, but this Monday night game has a feel of this is the game that we could lose, like just because, Miami's on a 4-game win streak, even though I think on paper we're a better team, but it just has that feel about it, man. It's so hard to it's the Steelers are the one team you can't look at the schedule before the season and say win, loss, win, because it never comes out that way with the Steelers. You never know who they're going to beat, who they're going to lose to. We're going to get into the game, Phillip. But let's talk about Clark Travel, man. You're
Oh yeah.
one of my big sponsors. What do you got going up now here with what's the premise now? You got like some Christmas stuff coming up?
There are so many great deals right now, people. So many great deals. Whether if it's cruise lines, and you're seeing the commercials on TV for the cruise lines, whether if it's I booked through Expedia Tap, which is the travel advisors, part of Expedia, where the really, really good deals are taking place. And we're talking about anywhere on this planet that you want to go. We're talking about all inclusives in the Caribbean. We're talking about major cities. We're talking about anywhere. And I'm seeing deals anywhere from 30% off to 60% off.
Wow.
In fact, I'm working with a client on 2 different dates. They want to go to Hotel Rio Bavaro in the Dominican Republic, and I was doing her pricing last night for her and 3 of her friends. You're looking at 50% off for where they're going to stay.
Oh
The room
wow.
they're going to stay in, and it's right on the beach at this resort, and it's a nice resort. It's a 4-star resort.
And
So,
explain to people too. You don't stop. You're all year long. I mean, you were talking
oh
about
yeah,
you
yeah,
send people to the Steeler game in Ireland. You had some
I
Penguin
did.
packages. There's
Correct.
some packages all year long. So
Yeah,
if you get that mood, you get that itch, you want to get on a a boat ride, whatever you want to do, man. He'll hook you up. So
and
get a
think
hold
about
of
this,
him.
JT. Pitt plays in Dublin in 2027 against
Yes,
Wisconsin.
that's true. They
And
do.
what I was able to do for my clients who went to the Steelers game a couple months ago is they just didn't stay in Dublin. They toured the entire island. Okay. So they went to Cork. They went to Killarney. They went to Limerick. They went to the cliffs of Moher. They went to Galway. And I found really nice hotels at very good prices for all of them. And
That
that's what I would imagine all the fans are going to do, the Pitt fans, when they go in August of 2027. And it's not just Ireland. People can go, you can fly Iceland Air, do a stopover in Reykjavik for 3 days, and fly down to Dublin, still do some other cities in Ireland, and then fly back to Reykjavik to go home. And right now, we still have the Pittsburgh to Reykjavik flight on Iceland Air. We
that's
still have Pittsburgh to
phenomenal.
London on British Airways. So you can get really creative and go to different parts of Europe too. So
Like I said, I got a daughter in England, so I might be hitting you up here
yeah,
sooner rather than later because I know my wife wants to get out there. We haven't got to. She got to visit her once. I haven't got to get out there yet, so we're gonna have to get out to England here soon.
it's a great country. It really is. We spent 2 weeks there in 2016, long before I became a travel agent, and we loved it there. It's a really cool country.
So how do people get a hold of you, Philip?
Yes, my email address is Philip. That's 1 L in Philip at Clark Travel, CLARKE travel.org. I have a Facebook account, Clark Travel, and I think my logo was up just a little bit ago here.
Yeah,
And
right here, guys. You see this logo on there? That
yeah,
you got the right spot.
yep. And or you can just contact me directly on my Facebook page, Philip Clark. So I'm reachable, and I have my phone number published on the on both accounts. You want to give me a call? So
Yeah, guys, if you any especially with the cold winter coming up, man, you're gonna want to get out of here, and especially in February, March. I mean, I know personally, if I had the time, I would love to go back down to Bradenton. It's a great time
spring
watching
training.
Pirates. Well, it's awesome. Best time I had in my life to go down
Yep.
there and watch baseball. But
Go
let's
down
get
to
in.
Fort Myers and see them play the Red Sox or Twins too.
Yeah, that's true. Everything's so close down there. You can basically
Yep.
watch. You can go to Tampa, watch the Yankees. So it's like
Yep.
it's a crazy scenario down there. But it's unbelievable. If you're a baseball fan, you're basically, it's like walking into Children's Palace as a kid, man. There's baseball everywhere. So
Yeah.
let's get into this game, Philip. I'm going to start you off with a. I wouldn't say this is a softball because you're you have a different answer than I mean everybody can have a different answer for this one, but who? I'm sorry, not this one. I apologize. That's not the question I wanted to say right now. This one right here, the player of the game.
Aaron Rodgers.
You give it to Aaron?
Yeah, because his numbers were very good. He threw for 284 yards passing. He had a 103 point whatever passing rating. He threw 2 touchdown passes and he ran 1 in. So And his deep ball was effective. Him and Metcalf looked really, really good. They were on the same page finally.
How did it take so long for them to just like, you know what, just come out first play of the game and just finally just say, you know what? They were actually throwing the ball. I remember I was over at my buddy's house watching the game and they threw one over the middle. They didn't complete it. It was the one that Metcalf was a little bit in front of Metcalf, but
Yeah, right.
I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what the middle of the field looks like. I mean, we haven't thrown a ball over the middle of the field, it seems like, in ages, and it was nice to see that they're trying to. Do you think it was a? We don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but do you think it's more Aaron Rodgers? Do you think Aaron Rodgers went to Arthur Smith and just said, "Hey man, let's go. Let's."
I would hope so because Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Fame quarterback. He'll be in when he's eligible 5 years after he retires. I mean, he'll be in right away.
Yeah, he's
and how many times was the NFL Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year? Won a Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers against the Steelers, of course. But and for being 42 years old, he looked really good yesterday. Albeit it was the Baltimore defense, and they've been kind of off this year. Mm-hmm. They're not as much of a threat as they have been in the past. I don't know. I playing against Miami's defense, I know their offense is really good. I don't know how great their defense is. You mentioned the 4-game winning streak. So it'll be an interesting game to watch. I don't know that the Steelers will win this one. And we'll talk about that at the end, I know. But,
not the best win streak either. I mean, they beat the Jets. They beat I think the Falcons were in there. There's some bad teams that they just
they do have a weaker schedule than the Steelers. There's no question about that. I'm still concerned about the defense because Baltimore started coming back on them in the second half.
Yeah, it seems like that bend but don't break mentality. I know we've had that for years, and it's been you're always waiting for that big play to happen. But I'm going to tell you what they I mean, all intents and purposes, if that's a Steeler that catches that ball, we're bitching still. I mean,
it would have been a repeat of Jesse James in 2017.
I mean, I don't know. Were you watching the game alone? Were you with people?
Watching at home with my family.
Me and my buddy, and then the announcers too agreed. I mean, I thought it was a touchdown. I didn't even know they were because the referee's mic was off. So whenever they showed Harbaugh, and they're like, "Oh," my buddy's like, "Oh, they must be reviewing it." And I'm like, "No, Harbaugh wouldn't act like that because they review every touchdown anyways." I'm like, something just happened, and man, I mean, that he was literally a half step. If he gets that his third foot down, I think that's a football move, and that would have been it. That would have been the game. But
I thought it was just 2 steps as a football move.
That's what I thought too. But
he technically had possession, and I thought he made the football move. I thought it was a touchdown.
I'll tell you what that guy needs to do, man. Likely because he did the same thing when he fumbled going into the end zone. He needs to pull that ball in, man. I know you catch it out there, you want to show, just bring that ball in. He wins the game for Baltimore.
And then how about that other play? Whenever they turned over the ball in downs, Mark Andrews actually got in the way of that pass. That was going right for oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the quarterback's name. Zay Flowers.
Oh yeah, Zay Flowers.
He was standing there by himself at the end of the end zone, and had Mark Andrews not gotten away and kind of deflected it, that's a touchdown pass right there. So technically, the Steelers were given 2 gifts.
Yeah, they were.
Okay, man. Gift number 1 to the officials. Gift number 2 to Mark Andrews.
And it's true, man. I can't believe I even started thinking, what we got to do? We get down there and kick a field goal. Do what we got to do. I was waiting for them to go for 2. They would have made it. It would have been 28-27 Baltimore. They'd have went for 2, whether they get it or not. But we'd still be in field goal range. Who impressed you on defense for the Steelers?
Well, I'm biased because I love James Pierre, and he did have an interception.
He played well, man. I'll tell you what, he always seems to be around the play.
He's got a nose for the ball, and he makes great plays all the time. It's rare to see him, screw up on the field. It's extremely rare. He's been playing lights out football since he was brought back in. We talked about this before. He was actually cut from the team. Mm-hmm. Then he was put on the practice squad. Then they brought him in, and he's been playing great since then.
Yeah, Highsmith played well too. Led the
Oh
team
yeah,
in tackles. Had that sack at the end, which of course was huge. I can't believe that. Can't believe that. I mean, I don't know what Jackson was doing there. That's what I mean by Jackson. So sometimes you don't get what he's doing. He had a chance to get rid of that ball, at least put it up and make something. Try to make something happen there. You never want to hold the ball like he did there, but
he was looking for an open receiver, and everybody was covered. Thank
yeah, but
God.
it's fourth down, man. I still
I
chuck it.
know,
You chuck it and hope for the best, but
I know.
uh,
But I had a feeling too that the Ravens weren't going to punch it in. I wasn't nervous at all about their final drive. I
no,
was
I
more upset
wasn't either.
about when the Steelers got the ball in downs. They went 3-and-out.
And let's talk about. I think he's on. I mean, if he had to give, and this is a good question. I'm gonna. I don't want to take credit for this question because it was on 93.7 the one morning. If you think about it, it would be almost impossible to name an offensive MVP and a defensive MVP on this team. Like legitimately, a legit MVP. I mean, you got to give it to Aaron Rodgers, I guess.
It's
Now
going
at
to
this
be
point,
Aaron Rodgers regardless, because there's unless Jalen Warren ends up with like a couple more 100 yard games and they win those games, he would be at least a close second.
I'll tell you
Uh,
who I give credit to, and I know he is the unsung hero of the team. I give him the award right now. That's Kenneth Gainwell, man.
he is Kenneth Gainwell. I mean, when we picked him up, I was like, okay, but he's had an outstanding season. He's done everything he's been asked to do: run the ball, be basically their wide receiver number two, their WR2. Um, and he's extremely reliable. He makes good plays.
We got to see a little bit of Valdez Scanling.
MVS, yeah,
Yeah, Thielen got a catch, but
yeah.
I still want to know what is going on with what's going on with oh my gosh, I just drew a blank.
Calvin
Wilson,
Austin,
Roman Wilson.
yeah, he wasn't even dressed.
I don't get what he must be doing something behind the scenes that just ain't making him happy
I don't
because
know. I have no idea. But they put MVS in, and obviously Thielen came in, so they had to sit somebody out. But their next game against Miami, I would have Roman Wilson back in.
I
Me
just don't know
personally.
what. I mean, this kid's a second round draft pick, and I know the rumor was the first year after he was hurt that he had trouble picking up the playbook. Okay, he's
Yeah.
a rookie. I get it.
Right now, you're almost at the end of the season. He should know that playbook inside and out.
That's what
There's no
scared me.
excuse.
That's what scared me is he did something else behind the scenes or something that the
Yeah,
Steelers just
absolutely.
don't.
He's in a doghouse. But so's Firemouth. He's been in the doghouse.
Yeah, he doesn't play. We have three tight ends, and I mean, it seems like they don't. I mean, Washington had one catch for 12 yards.
I mean, he ended up with a concussion. He had to leave the game.
Yeah, you know, I saw the way he got cut down on that, and I saw his head
Yeah.
at the ground. Didn't look good.
I didn't like
Um,
that hit at all.
yeah, I mean, the guy just chopped him down.
Yeah, that's the only way to take him down.
Oh, that's what you got to do. I mean, it was actually probably that's probably the perfect tackle for Darnell Washington. There was no
Right,
messing around there. He went
right.
flying through the air. Cause I actually thought when he first made the catch, I'm like, dude, stay on your feet. I didn't realize the guy chopped him. I thought he like
He
dove
chopped him
forward.
and then he landed on his head. He hit the back of his head, I think, if I recall the play. But anyway, I just hope he's back next week. I hope if he does have a concussion, it's mild, and he'll be able to be, it's next
Yeah,
Monday. So
I still think they got to use him more. I mean, I'm talking like quick little screens, let him just put his head down and bowl people over. I mean, they got to find a way to get him the ball in his hand a lot more. It was nice to see Metcalf get targeted as much as he was.
yeah, and
Um,
and we have to give kudos to the offensive line.
yeah, the offensive line actually.
Pass
Um,
protection was perfect.
yeah, there was a couple times I counted 6-7 seconds Rogers had, and then
Yeah,
I'm gonna hear for Aaron Rodgers. He looked like he had a little bit of youth in his legs. I mean, that touchdown run was it was nice. It wasn't like an easy, when he first took off, I'm like, uh-oh. But then he looked good. He looked like he had a little bit of speed behind himself.
it was
So
great to see. And you know what he did after he scored the touchdown? The discount double check.
I thought he did that. I thought he did that.
Boom.
God,
Old school.
that brings back some old memories there.
Sorry,
Oh, that's okay.
stupid telemarketer call. Get them all the time.
Nah, I get them all the time too. I had one right before
Yeah,
we
it's
got
ridiculous.
on. So the Steelers are 7-6. Thank goodness, because the young kids in this town, if they'd have went 6-7, 6-7, that would have been a horrible. You might not know. Do you know about the 6-7?
I don't. You have to educate me. I've been seeing this as a trend now.
I guess we can't. You're about around my age, so we can't make fun of them because we used to do like Shaw, double Shaw. Remember, like
Right,
from the Waynesboro, we used to make up goofy sayings that meant nothing. But I guess
right.
what happened was LaMelo Ball, who plays for Charlotte Hornets, got
Okay.
interviewed one day after the game, and the guy goes, the reporter goes, "What are you doing after?" He's like, "I'm going to dinner." He's like, "Oh, what time?" He goes, "I don't know, 6-7." And he put his hands up, and he is 6'7". For some reason, the kids caught on to that. And if
Yeah.
you mention 6'7", they go nuts. And I always forget about it. I sat next to a young kid who's a writer for the Trib. His name's escaping me right now. Anthony. He's an Italian kid, nice kid. Anthony, can't remember his last name.
I know
If
you're
he's out
talking
there,
about. Yeah.
listen. He
Yeah.
does like the high school sports and that, but he sat next to me and he's like, "Where do you think that guy's going to get drafted?" And he pointed out at a player. I can't remember which player. I think it might have been Desmond Reed, even from Pitt. And I go,
Hmm.
he may go undrafted, which could happen. But I go, if anything, he'll go 6th or 7th round. And he went nuts, 6'7", 6'7".
6'7", 6'7".
And I'm going to tell you what. I was at the Penguin game, the game that we got crushed by the Maple Leafs
Oh
7-2.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
was in the bathroom taking my every 10-minute leak I do at age 51 before the game started, and there was a drunk, probably 60, 70-year-old Penguin fan in there, and he goes, "Haven't won a cup since '67." And
Mm.
these kids went nuts in the bathroom, and it was hysterical
Six
because
seven, six
yeah,
seven.
the Toronto fans were just like, "Oh, come on!" But of course, they scored 7 goals on us. So, but
Remember, I have an ARP card, so I'm 55, and I'm not supposed to know what this stuff means. So
I'm glad. I mean, you know what? I wouldn't. My kids are a little bit older than that too. 24, 26, 28. So they really aren't into this. But my son will show me some stuff, and my son always rips on me. He's like, "Dad, you can't say nothing." And then we had probably. I think our generation had the goofy saying,
right
swing, sha. I mean, we had,
from the Bud
we
Light commercials in the '90s.
oh my gosh, we had
Yeah,
so many different like sayings and one-liners that meant nothing, but we thought it was funny. So,
right.
but no, I'm glad the Steelers didn't go 6-7 because I wouldn't have heard that all week.
Yeah,
So they're 7-6. Baltimore's 6-7. Um, Baltimore's got a little bit of a tough road, man.
they do.
And Cincinnati losing basically nullifies them pretty much for the most part. Now,
Oh yeah,
they were in that game too. They had to be a scary team down the stretch. But you look at the AFC now, Philip. It sort of changed. Houston
it's
and
nuts.
Jacksonville look amazing. Houston looks scary as all hell.
And you know what? You know what's crazy, JT? Nobody was talking about these teams at the beginning of the season.
No,
Nobody was talking about New England. Nobody was talking about Denver. Nobody was talking about Jacksonville, and nobody was
Houston,
talking about
man.
the Steelers.
And what scares me about Houston is they had a bad year last year, but the year before they were good. I mean, they were a team I thought could have went with when Stroud's rookie year and what they had going on. But last year they took a step back. But they have a great defense. I love the Miko Ryans. I mean, I think the way they played KC last night,
They
they're
played
legit.
tough.
And KC's pretty much they're pretty much gone. I mean, they need to win out and have a ton of help. Like
Right.
they can't even do that. So we're in good shape right now. And I hate to say that. Like I'm not gonna go back from what my stance was last year. I still don't think we're a formidable opponent unless we got to draw a really good team in the first round. In the first round, if we win our division, we'll get a home game. So we got to draw.
You know what? And if the season ended today, JT, it would be Buffalo.
Oh man,
Right.
I don't trust us. I don't see them ever beating Josh Allen with this team. Honestly, I mean, I just don't.
No.
And you're right about that. It would be Buffalo.
Yeah.
Actually, if we would finish, because only one team gets a bye, so if we would finish as the second to worst, well, or oh, no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, you have to finish as the Yeah, you're right. We would get Buffalo, which is it's terrible. I mean, some of the teams after that we could play though, like I'm watching the Chargers right now. They're a team that's scary. We lost to them already. We beat New England. We beat Indy. I think we beat Indy again because of their situation. But I don't know if we beat New England. I mean, New England's
I
very,
don't
very
think
good,
so
man.
either because they've put together a really good team and a great culture in the locker room. This team, they all believe in each other, and they're playing great together. I mean, they really are. New England's a team to be reckoned with. And I think it's either them or is it Denver that has the bye if the playoffs started next weekend?
That's a good question. I think it's
They
New.
both have the same record.
I think they're both 11-2. I believe.
They are,
I
and
don't know. I think Denver's beatable. I just don't think that I ain't a believer in Bo Nix yet. I know they have a decent running game. They have a great offensive line. They have a good defense, great defense. But um, Denver, I think, is a good matchup for the Steelers if that would come out to that. But we wouldn't see them until we'd have to win a playoff game to get to that point.
right.
I I just this is the one year, man. I'm looking around. You know how the every year like is. I don't even know if there's an NFC team. I think it's the year that a team can make a run, just run through the playoffs if they get hot because there's not a dominant. There's not like a Pat Mahomes Kansas City Chiefs team or a Ravens legit defensive team. There's like each team has holes this year, which you catch the rate. Look at the Eagles. The Eagles could lose their what fourth in a row or third in a row.
They're going to lose tonight.
That's what I mean. I think it's
the Chargers just scored, so
that'd be 3 or 4 in a row. I think for them.
The team to look out for in the NFC is the Los Angeles Rams.
They're struggling a little bit.
They're 10-3 and 5-1 at home. Points for 379. Point differential is a plus 152.
Yeah, they destroyed Arizona yesterday.
Yeah, that was an easy win for them.
They got 31 the week before and lost to Carolina. So that's what I mean. Every team is doing this, like winning, lose. Like it's up and down, man, up and down. I do like the Rams though in the NFC. They're way. I think with Stafford and their offense, and Nakua is just he's a stud. Puka Nakua.
Course, yeah.
I do agree with you. I think the Rams were the team because I think the Eagles they're losing it, man. I don't know what their problem is, but
I don't either.
Barkley's not even. Barkley wouldn't even be considered one of the top 3 or 4 running backs in the league this year after running all them yards last year.
No, but check this out though, JT. For the Rams, their next 2 games, they're playing at home against Detroit, and they go on the road against Seattle. And then their last 2 games are easy games: Atlanta and Arizona again.
Man, Detroit must have the worst schedule in the history of football because I swear every week Detroit's playing a stud team. It just seems like it. They got to play Pittsburgh still. They got to play the Rams still. I mean, it just seems like every week they've been playing somebody that's a good team. Like they're always playing. They play KC. They played their schedule this year. I've never seen a team week in and week out just, I mean, they're a tough division this year too because the Packers are decent. The Bears are unbelievable for some reason. That's a shocker to me. I don't believe in the Bears either. I think the Steelers.
I don't either. I agree.
I think the Steelers in another game with them. I think I would have no problem with us. I think we could beat the Bears in a rematch.
So I would agree. And the Steelers should have lost to the Bears. That's another game they should have won. And if you really think about it, the Steelers should only have 2 losses this season. If they would have been playing good football and not, playing on their heels on defense the way they did against Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincinnati. That game.
Terrible.
Yeah, they were in the Green Bay game. They were in the Chicago game. They were in the Cincinnati game. We haven't really gotten blown out of the park except for against, I think, Buffalo. The second half was just that was the worst we've played all year. That second half was bad football. And then of course the game. Where's the game that we got waxed pretty good early in the year? Can't even think now. I can't even think. The Steelers. Somebody got us good early in the year too. Like where I was like, okay, this game. We weren't in that game for the.
No, that was a Seattle game. Maybe you're thinking about the first game of the season. I mean, Seattle they played great football. I mean, I think they would have beaten most teams that same day.
Yeah, you're true about that. Seattle came out of the gun, man, out of the gate, looking really good this year. Yeah, because you're right. 23-9, we beat the Browns. 24-21, we beat the Vikings. That was that Ireland game. 33-31, the Bengals was terrible. 35-25, Green Bay. It wasn't as bad as that score looks. Um, beat the Colts 27-20. That was the Chargers. Chargers, we were never in that game.
No.
25-10, and they outplayed us. That was the game I was thinking of where I knew that was a
Yeah,
loss
I
on every night. That was a loss against them that game.
I still think they could have beaten the Chargers too, but I don't know. And then yesterday Minnesota beat Washington 31-0. JJ McCarthy came out of nowhere and totally lit it up.
That's where you're right, man. The NFL season this year has been
It's
totally a
so
crapshoot,
topsy
man.
turvy. It's you don't know who's going to do what in the next week. You just don't. It's just too unpredictable.
It really much is. It's been a great year, and it's gonna be a fun playoff, I think, because there's not gonna be that I don't even think the team that gets a bye is gonna be a guarantee. Usually when a team gets a bye, you're like, okay, they're gonna get to the championship game at least. I think this year is the kind of year where even a bye team, I think, could get beat in the first round, their first game, because I don't think there's that dominant of a team. I think if Denver got the bye or New England gets the bye, would you be totally shocked if they lost to like a Houston I wouldn't be this year. I wouldn't.
Not with Houston, I wouldn't. Let me see their rest of the schedule here. The Patriots, they host the Bills next week. They go to Baltimore the following week, which is a Sunday night game.
That's going to be huge for the Steelers. That actually could be the game that pretty much locks it up for us.
Yep. And then they play at New York Jets, and then the last game of the year is against the Dolphins.
Yeah, they're in a good shape, man. They're probably going to be the number one seed, them or Denver. I mean, Denver's got a little bit tougher of a division because I think the Chargers and the Chiefs are a little bit better than the Bills and the Dolphins, guys. That's how you'd match them up, I guess. But
here's the Denver Broncos. Check this out. They've got Green Bay at home next week. The week after, they've got Jacksonville. Then they go to Kansas City, and then they host the Chargers. So those aren't. You can say what you want about Kansas City, but they could hypothetically win out too. Because it's kind of like the Steelers. They got to go in the next week's game playing pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis Kelce's got to get his head out of the butt and not worry about the wedding and start playing some football.
Yeah, he does. They literally, I think it sounded like a 10%, or it might be less than that now. Their chance of getting into the playoffs.
It's not looking good for them. That's for damn sure. And then who do the Chiefs have? I'm just, this is a fun conversation, man. I like looking at all this stuff. Okay, they're at LA Chargers. No, they host the Chargers next week. Then they play at Tennessee. They'll win that game. Then they host the Broncos. And then they play at Las Vegas. So that's 2-2 right there for the Chiefs.
Yeah, and the way they're playing right now, I actually think they're I'm not going to say they're mailing it in, but I think these guys are like, we made the playoffs how many years in a row. It's almost like I can see them just saying, let's just turn this back a year and go out there, because they don't look like a team that's even really formidable this year. I would put KC coming to Pittsburgh. I would take my chances with that matchup right now, the way they're playing.
Yep.
We're gonna go watch the movie 9-8. You know what, Tim? We probably are gonna see it. There's a good chance we could go 9-8 again.
I think that's going to be their record at the end of the season. I do.
I think Detroit's the one I can't see us winning at all.
No.
I think Detroit's gonna beat us. Baltimore at home. If we already have it wrapped up, which is the last game of the year, we could have it wrapped up. I mean, if Baltimore does, you just said who they play. If they lose to Buffalo, no, not Buffalo. I'm sorry. You said that Baltimore plays.
Here's an issue, JT, and I hate to say it like this. They got Miami at home next Monday night. Then they go to Detroit. Then they have to go to Cleveland.
Yeah, that's
not a guaranteed win either, because Cleveland's defense is still pretty decent.
Myles Garrett's going to go for like 5 sacks that game.
I know, that's what concerns me.
Obliterate the TJ Watt record, which he might even have it broke by then, the way he's playing.
Yeah. And then they host the Ravens last game of the year. So that could be a 1-3. I don't know.
Yeah, they go 1-3. That puts them at what, 8-9?
8-9.
Whew. Yeah, Detroit's the one I can't see a win. I just can't see a win. That's at Detroit, right? Or is that
That's
home?
at Detroit.
Okay, yeah,
And Detroit is what, in I think second in their division, or maybe even third. I don't know.
yeah, they're struggling right now. They've like I said, they play a tough team every single week, so they're having a little bit of issues there. But hey, Philip, before we get going,
Yes.
let's once again let people know about Clark Travel.
Hey, it's all about where you want to go right now because again, the pricing, especially in the holiday season here, pricing is great for just about everything. Cruises, your all inclusives in the Caribbean, other destinations you have in mind, but people in Pittsburgh seem to, do I've booked a lot of cruises this year actually, and they all went to the Caribbean except for one went to the Eastern Mediterranean. Um, the pricing is just really really good. Contact me, and if you have an all inclusive in mind at pretty much any island in the Caribbean, and it's beautiful down there. It's absolutely gorgeous down there. Um, if you want to go to Key West, if you want to go on a cruise, I can find really really strong pricing for you, and I can do my best to beat some deals too if push comes to shove. So you can contact me. My email address is oneellenphillip at clarktravel.org, CLARKE travel.org. I can book. I have 7 different cruise lines that I'm certified to sell. And I do all of my hotels and resorts through Expedia Tap, where right now you're looking at nothing but great deals with them. At minimum 30% off on most places, up to 60% off. So now's the time to start really looking at the calendar. I think it's going to be a rough winter here in Pittsburgh, to be honest with you, like last year was. And if you want to be warm, you want your toes in the sand, you want a nice drink in your hand, give me a call. Send me an email. I'll send you wherever the heck you want to go.
Yeah, we're not even at the January, February here is brutal. We haven't even hit that yet. We're getting the cold weather already here in December.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I think we're gonna see a lot of single digits here coming up. So guys, you want to get I know by middle of February, that groundhog is gonna lie to us again, and you're gonna be like,
Yep.
I gotta get out of here. So
Yep.
get a hold of Philip. Philip will, if you can't get a hold of Philip, get a hold of me. I'll get a hold of Philip for you. We'll take care of you. We'll take care of Philip's one of my great sponsors, and I love my advertisers. I try to do everything I can for them. Philip, next week we're gonna move our show next week to Tuesday, so everybody knows.
I'm in.
Because the Steelers play Monday night, so
Yep.
we're gonna do Tuesday next week. So everybody come on Tuesday. Philip, thank you so much for coming on, man.
Thank you, JT. Have a great night.
You too, man.
Thanks.